Hawks win 5-2 over the Minnesota Wild, and Patrick Kane becomes Hatrick Kane in tonight's victory over Minnesota. And yes, it was a good one. The Hawks beat the Wild 5-2 in the United Center, and Col-Win Delia gets his second win of this season. And does he become the starting goalie in the Winter Classic? Because I will run with Delia because he's been amazing in net with the Blackhawks. He made it a game to remember. He became the first star of the night, well deserved, even though Patrick Kane became Hatrick Kane in tonight's game. But Col-Win Delia got made 46 saves on 48 shots. Hawks beating the Wild 5-2. It was a big victory by the Blackhawks all around. They did not look good offensively because they could not get shots off worth crap. But honestly, Hawks had a big game to play, and they showed up to Colin Delia robbed them. He made it a goalie win, in my opinion. With this victory over the Minnesota Wild, it's a good one to take on for the Hawks, because the Wild have been iffy this year. Hawks have been terrible this year. Cam Ward, ever since he made his speech in the locker room, apparently, it seems like the Hawks have gained their stride of momentum. But they've been playing solid the past few weeks for the Hawks. And Colin Delia, he's getting that good chance on having a solid career in the NHL, in my opinion. That's how good he is. He's underrated throughout the NHL already. This victory Col-Win Delia put up makes me happy to see that he's proving people wrong. But let's talk about the hat trick, why not? Because who's the idiot to throw out their Patrick Kane jersey out onto the ice after Patrick Kane scores the hat trick? All you do is throw hats out onto the ice, not a jersey. A hat is a hat. It's called a hat trick, not a jersey trick. Honestly, come on. What are you thinking, dude? Whoever threw their jersey out onto the ice, I hope you're happy you aren't going to be seeing that jersey anytime soon. Or ever again. What an idiot. What made you think to throw your jersey out onto the ice? I know a team like Toronto, when they were terrible, fans threw their jerseys out onto the ice because they were ticked. But, dude, we scored a hat trick. You don't throw jerseys onto the ice. What are you thinking? I could go on for hours about that. That's a complete and idiotic move on whoever threw their Patrick Kane jersey out onto the ice of the United Center after Patrick Kane scored the hat-trick goal. And yes, it was only an empty netter, but whatever. It's a hat trick either way. So let's get into the stats of the game, why not? Hawks win 5-2 over the Minnesota Wild, and Colin Delia well deserves the first star of the night, in my opinion. He made big save after big save. So at 4:02 in the first period, to start his scoring off, number 88, Patrick Kane, scores his 18th goal of the season, first of the night, assisted by Eric Gustafsson and Dylan Strome. And that was a good passing play, and the Hawks did not have a lot of good passing plays tonight. And they managed getting a great passing play off on the first goal of the game. At 15 minutes into the first period, Zach Parise scores his 16th goal of the season, assisted by Eric Stahl. Thing is, Parise scored it basically right after the Hawks killed. Right after the Hawks killed the Minnesota power play, and the Hawks were dead tired. They could not get a dump off the ice. They could not dump the puck down the ice, and they had tired players out, and the Wild capitalized on it. So, right at the end of one period, it's tied 1-1. But in 23 seconds into the game, into the second period, my bad, with his 10th goal of the season, Brandon Saad scores his first goal of the night, assisted by Jonathan Toews and Dominic Cahoon, to make it a 2-1 game for the Hawks. But at 3:53 in the second period, on the power play, with his second goal of the game, Patrick Kane scores, assisted by Gustafsson and Toews. And the thing is, on this goal, on the power play, Toews wins the draw, gives it down to Gustafsson. Gustafsson feeds it to Kane, and Kane snipes it past Dudnik, and Dudnik's night is over! Yes, the Wild yanked Dudnik after Kane scored to make it a 3-1 game, because he did not look good in net. So they put Alex Stalock in, and he actually played solid in my opinion. Sorry, I have like a tickle. I like something tickling my throat, it feels like. So at the end of 2 periods, the Hawks lead 3-1. So no goal scoring after that. After the Kane second goal of the night. But at 12:17 in the third period, with his second goal of the game, his 11th of the season, Brandon Saad scores, and the assist went to Alex DeBrincat, and it was on the power play. Another power play goal by the Chicago Blackhawks. 2 power play goals by the Hawks in one game. That's been rare for us to do this year. But at 19:09 in the third period, Eric Stahl scores his 13th goal of the season, assisted by Sutter and Gramlin, to make it 4-2 Hawks. But on the empty net at 19:33 in the third period, Patrick Kane scores the hat-trick and his 20th goal of the season, and the assist went to Dylan Strome to make it a 5-2 Hawks win. But the main key player to tonight's game was Colin Delia. He played on his head. He robbed that game from Minnesota. Because if it wasn't for Colin Delia, I think the Hawks would have lost this game, and it would have been basically a shootout. Because I think Cam Ward would have let in some goals that Delia managed to make saves on. Delia played a hell of a game in his third career complete game, but fourth career NHL start. He gets his 3rd win of his career tonight, 2nd win of the season. Good for Deals, and I honestly will be okay if Delia's in net for the Winter Classic. Even though Cam Ward has a nice helmet for the Classic this year. He has probably the nicest Winter Classic mask of all time. Ward does. So let's get to the shots on net. In the first period, Minnesota had a total of 15 shots on net to the Hawks only having 4. Yes, you're hearing me correctly on that. In the second period, Minnesota had 16 shots on net to the Hawks 11. And in the third period, Minnesota had 17 shots on net to the Hawks 5. Total shots on goal for Minnesota, 48 shots to the Hawks 20. That was a pure goalie win. I'm sorry, it is. We may have had 5 goals put up tonight, but it was a pure goaltending win, and Delia gets the W. He well deserves having the first star of the night, and probably will have the belt in the. Will he have the belt? He probably got the belt. Yeah, he will probably get the belt. Meaning the championship belt the players give each other after they have a big game. And so the 3 stars of the night, let's go with the third star. With 2 goals in the game, his 10th and 11th of the season, number 20, Brandon Saad. And for the second star of the night, with the hat trick, scoring his 18th, 19th, and 20th goal of this season, number 88, Patrick Kane. And for the first star of the night, your goalie, number 60, with 46 saves on 48 shots, it's Delia. Big game by the Blackhawks, and honestly, big deal by deals. And also gotta throw in the Hatrick Kane slogan going, since he scored a hat trick tonight. It's always fun seeing a hat trick in Chicago for the Blackhawks, especially when there was a chance for 2 players to score for the Hawks. And I was happy they actually managed to score it. But still, I don't understand the guy who threw his jersey out onto the ice after the hat-trick goal. So, please leave a comment down below what's your takes from tonight's victory over the Minnesota Wild. And if Delia will be the starting goalie of the Winter Classic, because it's a possible chance we could see him playing. And please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And thank you for watching the broadcast. I know you enjoyed the outcome. Hawks win 5-2 over the Minnesota Wild. And most of all, let's go Hawks!